You know, I thought for a while of going over to Brooklyn to see that party I was talking about. You know, I catch you that night. Think I could make a touch on it for a 10 spot. Shit. Maybe a 20. Few miles back in the day. You know, back when I was on Easy Street and he wasn't. I helped him many a times and I never reminded him.
Then it's hopeless. You fool. Don't you see, damn it? Huh? You really help him in times you won't get a nickel from him. Why are you pouring up? The best you can hope for is a sniveling more or less on his evils of drink and his advice to mend your ways, which he hopes you won't take.
I don't know, Ned. People aren't all as bad as you like to make them out to be.
Aren't they? Well, I haven't seen them all.
Anyways, I'm glad I didn't go. Waited around downstairs to wait for the storm to clear. Tom Henderson was in and he blew me to a couple whiskeys.
I was wondering where your autism came from.
But the beastly drizzle kept right on. It hadn't let up when you came in, had it?
No. Mark on that foot and mark overhead and in between. God has given us a naked truth today.
You shouldn't say that, Ned. You've got the Blue Devils, haven't you?
I haven't had 2 whiskeys.
Tom Henderson slipped me $1 when he was going. If you want to go downstairs.
No. Thanks, just the same.
Must be feeling queer. Later then.
Later. Supposing there wasn't any.
You mean I'll spend it before? No, Ned, I promise.
I wasn't talking to Ed, I was speaking of later.
Oh, you have got the blues, all right. It's okay. Don't blame you. This is devilish weather. It's enough to... Cheer up. I mean, it's the middle of March now, spring will be here soon.
That'll be a blessing.
Won't it? Did you know, Ned, that spring is my favorite season of the year?
How long have you been living here?
6 years, more or less. Why?
I should think all the seasons be the same as right done.
Oh, come now, Ned. Where else could we get a room on such long credit as old John allows us?
Yes. I suppose I ought to be more grateful. Thanks to knowing you, I had a place to land when the old man kicked me from the family fireside. Well, that was 6 months ago. I'm leaving you now.
You're leaving for good?
Downright for good.
And has your father...
Welcome me back to his boss? No.
Then where are you going?
If I knew that, I'd be a wise guy indeed. But I'm talking rot. What was he was holding forth about? Oh yes, a beautiful spring.
Well, it is beautiful. You just, you don't get much of a chance to see it here in the city. But still, when it gets warmer, I walk down to the Battery Park every morning.
It was very beautiful down at the Battery today. A miserable soaking strip of mud, trees dead, the bay is filled to its overgrown sewer.
You were down there today?
For 6 hours, till it got dark.
What were you doing?
Sitting on the bench with the rest of the flowers.
In the rain? But you must be soaked. You'll catch a cold for sure.
What's the difference? Oh, woman! You're worse than a wet nurse. Pass me the tobacco, will you? Roll a cigarette.
You know you choose a funny time to loaf on the battery.
No other place I want to be alone than me.
Well, you couldn't get a very favorable impression of it today. It's much better in the middle of spring.
Damn your spring! What significance can spring have to you, or to me, or any other in this home?
Look, spring means something to me that you can't quite very well understand. There have been springs in my life.
Stop. Stop right there, Jimmy. I'll be damned if I stand for listening to that story again. I know you too well. I can see it coming. And story yours 1,000 times told of all the LJ collusions. Listen to me. I tell you the truth for once in your life. By your own story 1,000 times told. You proved that that wife of yours was a worthless nonentity. Guilty in the
Ned!
And you still hold her memories to your chest like a dry rose. Wow! You ought to be thanking God you got rid of her. You weren't happy then, you know it. But you are now. In spite of everything, you're home, secure. This place is bedrock. After this, there's nothing but the morgue. What's the use of talking?
You're not so good yourself when it comes to that, Ned.
I'm no good and I know it. I make no excuses. I'm here because I belong here. Besides, what's the meaning of that word? Good to be what you are on face. That's good. Come, confess it. Only bad is lack of money to stay drunk on this. Here I am arguing like an embassy. Less than last month.
Very insulting, Ned. For old friendship, I choose to forget your words because they were not those of a gentleman or a friend. I never thought that you.
Forgive me, Jimmy. I'm all unstrung. I apologize. It's all right, man. I didn't mean it.
You forget it. Your damn tongue. It's forgotten.
Forget it.
You haven't been acting like your old self.
How could I? He's dead. Most of it.
Rest. You don't look well. Are you sick?
I didn't sleep much last night.
You didn't come back here. You don't mean to say you were wandering the streets all night.
No, I found a quick bed, warm line.
Did you go see your father?
No,
So he refused to speak to you.
no, it stuck in my head at the last moment. I held out since I last rode. Made up my mind I'm not giving it satisfaction.
And you've got to do something now that you've chucked that job.
I'm going to do something.
North. You know the big Swede from the city? Well, he's talking about going west. You know, Minnesota. He says he wants to get where it's warmer, where there's fresh air. I mean, he's got relatives out there that own a farm or something. He's going to beat his way and foot it. He wants to get where there's fresh air.
You won't find it. There's no fresh air in this world.
I think you should go with him. He'd take you along, he likes you, he told me so. Plus, it would be a beautiful trip in spring.
Damn, you're spring! Thinking of taking myself a long trip.
It would be just the
Just.
thing. Not that I'm anxious to have you leave or anything, I just...
No, you'll be sorry once. Yes, you're one of the few. You know where I went yesterday?
No.
To the lawyers.
You mean to your wife's lawyer?
Yes, I told you, didn't I? He rang me a couple of times to come see him and arrange matters.
What did he say?
First, tried to be kind and fatherly. Good advice. Said my fair fro was willing to forgive and forget if I would promise to settle down and behave. Didn't stick. Told him she might be willing, but I was not. I couldn't forgive or forget the fact that I despised her.
Ned.
Now, Jimmy, if you want to hear this, and I do want to tell you so that things will be understood by someone's out, it's choking me. You got to carry your sentimental drama. Save it for your own side. I won't put up with it, do you hear?
Yes, I've always hoped that you two would just get back together.
Jimmy, you're an ass.
Don't you care for her at all?
Not a damn. Not a single solitary. Infinitesimal damn. I never did. Body. That's all I wanted in her, and she in me. And I married her for an obsolete reason, a gymnast reason you might say. Because a perverse devil whispered in my ear that marriage was one of the only things I ever did. That's all it was. A silly gesture of honor and a stunt.
I can't believe it, Ned.
Don't be so sentimental. Leave that to her.
So she's actually getting engaged.